According to the Swanepoel Trends Report 2018, real estate as we know it is broken. The machine is broken, and realtors, you have a lot to do with it. Hey there, it's Michael Creasy here, the executive editor with Agent Inner Circle from agentinnercircle.com, and welcome to this week's episode. And it deals with the Trends Report, trend number 4, which is the management-empowered brokerage business model. Now, please, as always, give us a like and share. And I know this is a controversial topic, so you'll want to be giving us a comment beneath this video. It's going to be a bit of a long one, so bear with me. So let's jump right into this. So what Stefan and his team have identified here is if we look at the real estate model back to World War II, up until now, it's been a really cool thing. I mean, a lot of people have been employed, money's been flowing into the economy, it's been a good thing. Well, from after the war up until about the mid-1990s, everything was status quo. But at that point, that's when RE/MAX and Realty Executives stepped in with their revolutionary commission split, which changed the model completely. Brokers weren't making as much money now as their agents were, 100% split, and they became independent contractors. So that was, if you want to call it, the first hiccup along the evolution of real estate. The next major bump really didn't come until about the 2000s, when technology started coming into real estate. Agent websites, CRMs, more and more technology was starting to creep into real estate. But then you hit 2010 and the model changes dramatically, because now consumers are more empowered. Consumers have access to the data and they are demanding the change. So let me get into this in a bit of detail. Swanepoel has identified 8 drivers that are changing the course of the way real estate is happening. And the first one starts off with management limitations. And if you think about this for a second, the franchise, the manager, your whole team don't really have any power. I mean, they can make suggestions, they can try to organize things, they offer training, new ways of doing things, but if the agents aren't willing to pick up on this, there is no way to force the change to occur. There's no way to force agents to adapt to the new demands that management has. The next one is agent centricity, and that's exactly what we're alluding to here. Realtors, you have the power. So as independent contractors, you don't have to do what management tells you. I mean, they can suggest things, but it ain't going to happen. So if you look at this from the customer experience or a consumer's experience, if you have 100 agents in an office, potentially you have 100 different ways of delivering what the consumer expectation is according to that agent. So there is no unified approach. There is no standard delivery of excellence, if you will. The third one is consumer expectations, which ties right into this. Consumers are looking for a platform that is easy, transparent, and nothing could be further than that in real estate right now. Things are complicated more so than ever. And if you look at the way consumers are interacting online, let's take Amazon, for example. They want to be able to touch the thing in a store, but they want to be able to seamlessly make the purchase online and have it delivered instantly. They're looking for the same to happen within real estate. This is the way, this is the expectations they have. And as an industry, we're not responding to this. Now, the next one is consumer loyalty. And according to the Trends Report, there isn't any. And if you think about the millennials right now, when it comes to the brand, let's say Realtor, that means nothing to them. It's all about the experience, the ease of use, and being able to save money. That's what consumers are demanding right now. So there is no loyalty to any particular franchise. Venture capital is the next driver. There are venture capitalists, there's banks out there that have up to date poured $3.9 billion into emerging models. And these models are ones that have the technology behind them, they have the data in place, systems in place, and many of these models are using employees. Let me repeat that part. They're using employees versus independent contractors, because if we go back up the food chain, the broker, the management now has control. Think about that for a second. Emerging technology, well, that's another trend, and we've talked about that all this technology and the way data is being used right now has never been like this before. And failure to respond, that's the big one. As an industry, we can't respond because it's too fragmented. As long as agents are doing what they want, their particular way of doing things, and management has no control, there will never be a unified experience or quality assurance, or let's call it a user user experience that is universal across the board. It just can't happen. And last but not least, direct buyer movement. And what that means is the emerging models, and we've talked about this in the two previous trends, discount brokerages and the buyer direct model. Companies are now hiring agents, but they are being employees. And if you look at it from the streamlined perspective, this direct buyer perspective, within 24 to 48 hours of a phone call, the home seller will have an inspection done, will have a CMA done, and will have an offer presented to them, because the brokerage is guaranteeing the purchase of that home. And we covered that in a previous episode, and right up here I'll put in a YouTube tag that you can click to go to that video. The whole point is, how do we change this? And I'm here to tell you, you can't change it. How do you adapt to it? Consumers are driving the engine right now. They want the change. Investment banks are fueling this fire to make that change, and the brokerages, the new emerging models, are responding. So the question is, how will you respond to the demand for consumers wanting that universal experience, wanting customer excellence, wanting a seamless process? What are you going to do? Well, according to the Trends Report, one of the solutions is management. Agents have to get together and adopt a mission statement, and it's more than just writing things down on paper. The mission statement has to be part of the culture. If everybody doesn't buy into it, it will never move forward. Which reminds me of A Christmas Carol. You remember Ebenezer Scrooge when he sees the ghost of Christmas future? And at the end, at the very beginning, he says, Spirit, are these the shadows of things to come? Or can I still change them? Well, it's already out of the box. There's nothing here you can change. You have to adapt. Or again, like in the Christmas Carol, preserved in the corner by the fireplace will be a little stool with your business card and an old for sale sign, out of business, written across it. Michael Creasy here, Executive Editor with Agent Inner Circle, agentinnercircle.com. I welcome your feedback on this video, and please leave a comment beneath this video.